What is up? Welcome in.
Let's go.
Family lunch. Let's go.
Come on, guys. It's draft day. Let's start acting like it.
Wait, hang on. AD, turn your mic down a little bit. You're a little hot. Little too hot for lunchtime. That's more of like a dinner time volume.
How about now? Am I a little quieter now?
Still a little hotter. Can we go a little bit lower? We'll
maybe I'll move
that on the fly.
Yeah, I'll move back a little bit. How's that sound?
I mean, it works, I guess.
Yeah.
Hey, guys, this is a show we do every Thursday. AD, myself, Austin, Cork Bats presents Family Lunch with Austin and AD. This is just a show that we have some fun with. You leave the show a little bit smarter than you came into it because each day AD will hit you with a fun. Well, in our most popular segment, let me find it. Here we go. Our most popular segment, we start off with water cooler facts. And this is a segment where AD hits you with a fun fact. I hit you with a this day in history. And you learn a little something. I don't know about you, AD, but just by doing this show every week, I have learned so much.
I feel like my IQ has gone up just from like all the facts and information I've been able to take in. And it's amazing.
I wish I took the ACTs now because I feel like I would have scored much higher.
Fare a little bit better now. Yeah.
Right. I feel that. All right. So what's your fun fact of the day?
All right. So I just have a couple, and obviously they're going to be draft related. We have the NFL draft today, and there is Austin's dog. Nice of her to join us today.
Yeah. Thanks, Coop.
So the number 2 pick in the draft, the New York Football Jets. I believe we all know how the Jets have fared in the past couple of years, and it really hasn't been too pretty, so to speak. But the Jets could make history tonight with their pick. If they select a quarterback at number 2, they could be the first team in the common draft era to select 2 QBs in the top 3 within a 4-year span. So wait,
the first team. So even the Cleveland Browns haven't done that.
No, surprisingly, the Browns still haven't gotten their quarterback right. You know, maybe with Baker, it is things are looking a bit better.
Well, but what did we say on the junk drawer on Monday? Baker is the first Browns quarterback. If he starts this season, he'll be the first Browns quarterback to make 3 consecutive seasons.
3 consecutive seasons starting quarterback. So as long as Baker doesn't get injured in camp, then he will make history himself come week 1.
Man, that is
so just incredible. It's really a competition between the Jets and the Browns over who can not draft a quarterback. Because at this point, the Browns are winning, I think,
Well, and speaking of Jets quarterbacks, Sam Darnold now in Carolina, is that and they just traded away Teddy Bridgewater. Is that like why? Like, do you believe in Sam Darnold that much? I don't know. I mean, maybe Sam Darnold could be great outside of New York, but
maybe he just needed a fresh start. I think that's what they were going for. But
sure, I just feel like the NFL, like you always need a good backup quarterback if you're not dead. Like if you don't have like a Brady or a Mahomes or someone or a Roethlisberger, like someone who you're dead set on as your starter. I just don't understand why more teams just don't have the backup.
Or at least like a veteran presence. I mean, we saw the Eagles go out and get Joe Flacco, and a lot of respect for them because Joe Flacco he's elite, and that's what people are looking for in a backup.
And that's what people were saying about the Eagles quarterback room. Just not elite enough. They needed to go out and find an elite arm, and they did with Joseph.
Elite backup. Okay, so here's another fun one for you.
Okay.
The most quarterbacks selected in a single year. Do you have an idea of when that may have been?
Or
the number of quarterbacks. So just remember, there's 32 teams,
and we're talking all 7 rounds, or just the first round?
All 7 rounds.
Oh man.
Sorry. Since the draft was cut to 7 rounds, and that was 1994. So 1994 up.
Gosh, could you imagine watching more than 7 rounds pre-1994?
It would have to be like 5 days. It would be a whole week of draft.
That would be so boring once you got to like round 9.
Just think of the mock drafts that would come out for that. Like,
David McGillicuddy out of North Dakota State Tech. It's like do we really need to go this deep?
Right.
I'm gonna say 20 quarterbacks. That's
2020. Oh, 20 quarterbacks.
Yeah, 20 quarterbacks.
17. You were close.
Okay. All right.
20 is not too far off. And it actually happened in 2004. And some notable quarterbacks that were drafted in 2004. We have Eli Manning.
That was a good year. That was just a good overall year for all draft, but especially all quarterbacks.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers and Ben Roethlisberger. So obviously the rest of the 14 quarterbacks didn't really pan out as well as those three. But
who would have thought that back then in 2004 that Ben Roethlisberger out of Miami of Ohio was the last man standing?
Honestly, and especially given his like health the last couple of years, I would have never predicted that ever.
Right? Yeah. The fact that he'd be the last man standing because of those cankles that he has, just that they're strong enough.
Also a good point. Well, he's been in those walking boots plenty of times, so
that's true. That's probably
helped him be a little bit stable.
Yeah, that's a good point. Good point.
Okay. Okay. So during that same time span, there's only been 1 year, one very sad, dark, depressing year without a punter or kicker selected. So could you imagine? I don't want to live in a world where a punter or kicker isn't drafted.
Neither do I. Neither do I. That sounds awful. That's I feel bad for all the punters and kickers out there because they are an important. They say every coach says every single week, special teams is just as important as offensive defense. All three phases is what they say. They don't say 2 phases. They say all 3 phases must be clicking.
There's that third phase. Yeah.
You don't have that third phase without your punter and or your kicker. And as a Titans fan, I can tell you straight up how important both a kicker and a punter were last year.
Yeah, right.
Titans don't lose to the Colts in the first round if they have Brett Kern, they're all pro punter out there. And they probably win a lot more if Steven Gostkowski made a few more kicks.
And the one I'm thinking of is the Steelers game whenever they were both 5-0.
Thank you. Thank you for
missed kick. There was a missed kick.
Thank you for bringing that.
Just
back
not to bring up the past, but
right.
Not that it matters now.
No, that game would have gone to overtime, but cool. And the Titans made an incredible comeback in the second half of that game. But sure.
Yes, they did. Yeah.
Yeah, it all fell short because Gostkowski could not put it through the uprights. Hey,
classic.
Hey, sweet kicks, brah.
Oh, that's a blast in the past right there.
Okay. All right. So now let's get to this day in history.
Yeah, what happened today? I feel like it was a pretty busy day.
Pretty busy day. Today's Jay Cutler's birthday. So happy birthday to Cuddy. Gotta love Jay Cutler.
If Jay had Instagram, I would shout him out on Instagram.
Yeah, right. Yeah, if he did, because what's the name of that handle? If Jay had Instagram?
If Jay had Instagram, yeah.
Right, which was originally run by Kristen Cavallari, but then he got it, I guess, in the divorce, so now he's running it. So
must have been part of the settlement, yeah.
Sure, right. I would have loved to have been lawyers in that room. This day, 2011, royal wedding. Britain's Prince William weds Kate Middleton. I think we all remember where we were that fateful morning.
10 years ago then. Wow.
Yeah, 10 years they've been married. Happy anniversary to the royals. Which you gotta, people always clown like Harry for leaving the royal family. I feel like if you're like second in line, like if you have an older brother and you're a prince, what's the point of being a royal? Because you're never going to be king.
So he got out at a good time, really.
Yeah, I'm like, I get why you'd want to leave. He's like, well, what's the point of me being here if I'm never going to be king?
Thing. Yeah,
yeah. I'm like third on the pecking order to become the next king. The LA riots started on this day in 1992. It's not necessarily a good one. Yeah, we don't need to. Joan of Arc relieves Orleans. I don't know what that means, but 1429, this day in history.
1429, damn.
1974, President Nixon, I am not a crook, announces the release of the Watergate tapes. So
that was
he will release transcripts of 46 taped White House conversations in response to a Watergate trial subpoena issued July 1973. So classic. Gotta love a good White House scandal.
Love a good White House scandal.
And then this is the sad. Oh well, wait. I got one that's doesn't need to be mentioned. 1945, Adolf and Ava marry. And if you're wondering, Adolf who? The only Adolf that you probably know.
The only, yeah. Yeah.
Rough for anyone named Adolf out there.
I was thinking that, like, has anyone named their kid Adolf since then?
I think that's when the name Adolf just stopped.
Like,
I think people were like, yeah, you know what? Let's retire that name. Let's hang it up in the rafters or in the basement.
In the basement.
And never go back to that name again. But during the night of April 28th, 29th, Adolf Hitler and Eva Braun marry only hours before they both died by suicide. So very short-lived wedding.
So they got married and then died, right?
Yeah, and they just little suicide right after. Oh. You know, talk about how about that for a honeymoon? It's like
some vows, huh?
Yeah. Or you know what they say? You know, like a lot of people say getting married is like a death sentence. Well, I don't say that. I don't say that, but people say that.
Well, they do say till death do us part, and
that's true. That's true.
They didn't want to leave each other, so I mean,
I don't think they realized that that they didn't mean in like right away. Death didn't have to do you apart like right away. You could
till death do us part in a little bit, like in a couple hours.
Yeah, and like here in a little bit.
We got like 3 hours.
Lastly, in 2004, this is a sad one. This is probably the saddest one.
Jeez.
The last Oldsmobile comes off the assembly line at Lansing Car Assembling Plant in Michigan, signaling the end of the 106-year-old automotive brand.
I wasn't ready for that news.
Oldsmobile. Hey, pour some out for
talk about
Oldsmobile.
Can we talk about that name though, Oldsmobile, for a second? Like,
it's not very sellable. I feel like.
What were they thinking? Like, it's like, hey, let's this car looks pretty old. Like, let's slap a Oldsmobile on it.
Who wants to buy an Oldsmobile? Like a newsmobile, like a new mobile. Yeah, sure. I'm all in.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But an Oldsmobile, yeah, you're right. That's a great point, AD. Just the name alone feels like, what am I buying here?
Like, did anyone ever say like, "Oh, I just bought this new Oldsmobile," and you're like, and they're like looking at you like, "Well,
yeah, it's an oxymoron."
What year is it? What year is it? Like,
yeah. Oh, so shout out to any Oldsmobile owners out there. Today was the last day that an Oldsmobile was made.
What year was that?
2004. So 17 years ago today. It's that and like Pontiac. Do you remember Pontiac?
I thought they still made Pontiacs, honestly.
Didn't you? I just realized that like a year ago that Pontiac stopped being made at some point.
You're like looking around the road. You're like, I haven't seen a Pontiac in a while. Like,
yeah. I mean, do you remember the old Pontiac Grand Prix? The commercials. They're like, wider is better, and like the cars were just like slightly wider than most cars.
They were just so wrong about that.
Yeah. So shout out Oldsmobile. That's
is Buick. Did they like pass the torch to Buick? Is Buick now Oldsmobile? Because I think they were connected there for a little bit. So maybe like they looked at both the names and they're like, okay, this one's Oldsmobile, this one's Buick. Which one's going to sell better? And I think they made their decision based off that.
They're like, which one would Tiger Woods endorse? And we'll stick with that one. That's got to be is that the weirdest celebrity or the weirdest athlete car endorsement? Tiger Woods and Buick.
Well, LeBron's was like Kia, and I just can't.
Yeah,
I can't picture LeBron driving a Kia anyway.
Neither. So. Yeah, no, that's a good point. And what was Shaq? Was Shaq Buick too?
I think he still is Buick. Yeah. And the General Auto Insurance. So he's got the best of both worlds there.
Shaq is pretty much everything that's ever been advertised on TV ever. So, all right. Well, that's going to do it for water cooler facts today. I don't think we got anything else. So, AD, do you got anything for the road?
I really hope everyone's team selects who they wish they selected in this year's draft, because it's a stressful time for fans, and reading a lot of mock drafts. Like, just be happy that mock draft season is over. So that's the thing. I'm less excited about who the Titans are going to draft and more excited about just
draft season being over. Who now? Let's do a quick mock draft. Who do you want the Steelers to take?
Najee Harris, but I don't think he's going to get there. I don't think he's going to. What about you? What about the Titans?
I'm hoping Elijah Moore.
Elijah Moore. Okay, all right. So we're both hoping for some offense here. It seems
give me just bolster the offense because the defense can't get any worse. So just give me all the offense for the Titans.
Right. All right. I respect that.
Yeah. Need a Corey Davis
Hey, what about the rumors about the Titans trading for Julio though? That could be probably just rumors, but
I've read those and don't get my hopes up. So
it's like reading mock drafts. It's like the same type of hope that you're building. Yeah,
exactly. So, we just posted a NFL draft drinking game on the website, corkbats.com. Cork obviously spelled with a K. So if you want to have some fun tonight during the draft, or actually it's really needed for the rest of the rounds. Friday and Saturday, the drinking game is really needed. So if you want to play along with our NFL draft drinking game, that's up on the site right now. Anything else, AD, for the road?
Just also be on the lookout for Roger Goodell's chair. I heard there was some rumors swirling around that it might be there in Cleveland. So just be on the lookout.
Oh, I hope so. And the little jar of M&Ms too. I hope so.
Yeah, no, it better be there. Better.
All right, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in and enjoy your Thursday. And hey, enjoy your lunch.
Have a good lunch, guys.